Hello, we'll call the meeting to order. Welcome commissioners, staff, petitioners, and citizens to the March 14th Mishawaka Plan Commission meeting. Introductions: to my right, we have Krista Hill, our senior planner and soon-to-be administrative assistant. To my right, we have Shad Annis, our associate planner. To my left, Ken Prince, our executive director. Next to Ken, Derek Spear, our city planner. And in the second row, we have David Bent, our legal counsel. First order of business, we're going to appoint an interim administrative assistant, and I would like to nominate Krista Hill for that. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a nomination and a second. All those in favor of Krista Hill for administrative assistant, say aye.
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 Opposed? And congratulations, Krista. Rules of procedure are up on the board. And first, we'll hear a presentation by the petitioner. For each item, we ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online. There will be some online people, so let's have a little patience with that, please. Then we'll hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the request. Then those who wish to speak against the request can come up. If you're not sure whether you're speaking for or against the request, I recommend to come up during the against the request. Then we'll accumulate all of the questions. We'll hear a right of rebuttal by the petitioner. We'll have a commission discussion and a commission vote. And I ask that all of the communications, all of the speaking happens at the podium. And when you come up, if you could clearly state your name, first and last, and your address. It can be home or it can be your business. Okay. The previous minutes were sent out for February. Is there any corrections or additions for those minutes? None? Then I will have a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving those minutes say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the previous month's minutes were accepted. Is there any conflict of interest on the agenda items by the commissioners tonight? None? Okay, that brings us to the first item on the agenda.
Chris,
Yes?
can I take roll first, just so we get on the
Oh,
record who
yeah.
is here?
I knew I forgot something.
Okay.
I had it in the back of my mind that I forgot something. So, Krista, would you please call for the roll?
Chris Jamrose, Murray Wynn,
Here.
Woody Emmons,
Here.
Sam Cressy, Chris Torti,
Here.
Nick Triola, Dale Freeman, Kathleen Mykadich. Here. Michael Portalaise.
Here.
Great. And by doing that, we have 5 of us here that are a quorum, so that works out good. Thank you for that, Krista. I appreciate it. So moving on, we get into petition 23-04, a petition submitted by 1635 Ironwood LLC requesting to amend the Northwest 12th and Capitol planned unit development to add a drive-through restaurant as permitted use. Is there somebody in the room or online to present this petition?
Hi there, Steve Ruby, Admiration Consulting, 315 West Jefferson, South Bend, Indiana. As stated in the petition, this site has been sitting vacant for a number of years. It was zoned back in 2003 as a PUD with selected uses, different commercial uses. There's an opportunity to do an outlet parcel on here with a small drive-up, kind of restaurant, but coffee shop. No patrons will sit down in this, but this is a great corner for that location. We're just asking that the PUD be amended to allow for this drive-up restaurant use within the PUD. So with that, if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
Yes, where's the egress going to be at?
It,
Because there's no curb cut right now.
Correct, correct. So the egress will line up approximately with the same drive location as the convenience store and filling station that sits to the south of the site.
So you're going to be right across from that?
We're going to try to line up as best as we can, yes, with that.
Okay, just for curiosity, isn't that kind of close to the intersection when you're coming in 3 lanes, coming down 2 lane and coming into 3 lanes?
It's It's something we're going to have to work with the city on as far as the striping and traffic pattern. We have reached out to NDOT for it, and they have defaulted to the city as far as their jurisdiction, so we'll work with city engineering to orchestrate that drive. If it shifts a few feet one way or the other, or if we have to make a certain drive approach accommodations for that, we will do that.
I'm not opposed to it, I'm just curious about the traffic flow and going
Right.
across traffic, cutting across, going east. And that, with that, so that close to Capitol.
Yes, yeah, we'll be looking at that as far as the traffic and what this may allow. We'll have to study it, of course, but we'll look at whether it needs a decel lane into the site or not.
So there was nothing coming in off of Capitol, then it'll all come in off of 12.
Correct, correct. We are going to allow with the frontage road access drive to it, ingress egress easement, so that it allows both utilities and patrons to enter and exit the lots, as well as gain access to the NDOT parcels that sit to the east of the property as well.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Woody. Any other questions for Mr. Ruby? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in attendance wishing to speak in favor of petition 23-04?
John Percini, 633 Windy Cove Court here in Mishawaka. This is just to not double what Steve said, but just want to make a point. We've been on this since about October of last year to get this project going. Tough corner, it's been a long time, it's been vacant. You can see the developer's going to put that drive in and pay all the way to that corner spot, brought the utilities there, which we think is going to help develop that corner out. And the south side's been a little slow on this end of town getting development. It's been a while now, the road's widening and things, so we think it's really going to be a push. The developers are down at Riley with one of their kids, so they couldn't be here tonight. They live on Dragoon Trail. They're real close to the location. That's what they really liked about this. They have one in Napanee, Scooter's out of Nebraska, so they're starting to kind of spread that around, looking up north, and they're going to do one in Elkhart here pretty quick. So just want to throw that in there. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Yeah, it has been there a long time. I remember 48 years ago, there was a sign that said, "The new Riverwood Mall."
Yeah, exactly. Is that your sign? Thank you.
Thanks, John. Is there anybody else in attendance wishing to speak in favor of petition 23-04? Anybody online wishing to speak in favor of petition 23-04? Is there anybody online or in the room wishing to speak in opposition to petition 23-04? Hearing none, City Planner, is there any additional information?
No additional comment.
Then I'll close the public hearing. Is there any questions or anybody on the commission wishing to speak? If not, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion for approval, petition 2304.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Krista, would you please call for the vote?
Murray Wynn,
Yes.
Woody Evans,
Yes.
Chris Torty,
Yes.
Kathleen Whitecatch,
Yes.
Michael Porterlees.
Yes.
And petition 23-04 will move to the council with a favorable rating. That brings us to the next item, replat 23-03, a request submitted by Mishawaka Troop Town, Inc., seeking approval of the one-lot Troop Town minor subdivision. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Greg Sharon, Dan Charner Associates, 1643 Commerce Drive, South Bend, Indiana. Here tonight representing Mishawaka Troop Town Incorporated. We were here last month to present the site plan for this for veteran housing. We're here tonight asking for the subdivision approval, which is combining the 6 existing lots into one lot for the housing development. We have included all the easements, sidewalk easement along Jefferson Boulevard, and we're working on agreement for the access drive and additional parking on the VFW property. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Sharon?
No.
Mr. President? Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm connected or not. Greg, do you have an update on the schedule
For construction?
Yeah, they
And that-
moved a little dirt out there. It looks
I
like something is imminent, but.
Don't know, I haven't heard of anything. I told them that the site plan was approved, so I don't know if they've come in for their permits yet, or,
If you could reach out to Jim or whoever.
Okay.
And get a schedule and submit, if we get those types of questions, it'd be helpful to know.
okay,
Thank you.
okay, yep.
Thank you. Replat 23-03. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of replat 23-03? Hearing none. Is there? Hello?
That was me.
Oh, sorry.
Hit
wait.
the mic.
I thought it was somebody online. Is there anybody in opposition to replat 23-03, either in person or online? Hearing none. Any additional information?
No additional information.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing. If there's no discussion, I'll take a motion.
I move for approval of replat 23-03.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. That was a tie between these two, so
We can arm wrestle later.
second, Woody?
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll call for the vote. Krista?
Murray Wynn,
Yes.
Woody Evans,
Yes.
Chris Torty,
Yes.
Kathleen Wentgatich. Yes. Michael Porterly.
Yes.
And replat 23-03 passes unanimously. That brings us to the next site plan, so there'll be no public hearing. Site plan 23-02, a request submitted by CA Mishawaka Fieldhouse LLC seeking final site plan approval. 219,000 square foot regional recreation facility on Veterans Parkway north of Douglas Road. I believe somebody is here to present this site plan remotely.
Yes, that is myself, Justin Hoxettler.
Hello, clearly state your name and address.
Yeah, Justin Hoxettler, Crossroad Engineers, PC, at 115 North 17th Avenue in Beech Grove, Indiana, 46107.
Okay, hold one second. Krista, did you get the last name?
Did we have his information, Derek?
Yes.
We have his
Good.
information.
Oh, okay, got it.
emails and stuff.
Uh,
Thank you.
excellent,
Thank
excellent.
you, though.
Okay, let's hear about your site plan.
Okay, am I good to share my screen? I have a PowerPoint.
They say yes.
From my perspective, yes.
IT says yes.
All right, is that good for you guys on your end?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, we can see it.
excellent.
Okay.
No.
All right, so as already mentioned, I'm here for the request for site plan approval for the Mishawaka Fieldhouse Phase 1, SP 23-02. Let's see, okay. So a little background, here's the vicinity map. It is located, like you said, north of Douglas, west of 331, and south of the toll road, just east of the Jude Creek Golf Course. Here's kind of more of a close-up. It is just north of Jude Creek, and to the south currently being constructed is the new water treatment plant. Veterans Parkway, which currently cul-de-sacs at the end there by the water treatment plant, will be extended around the same time as this project is being constructed. As part of a separate process, but the replat, I believe, was approved last Plan Commission. So here's just a share of that plan, which was done by Lawson Fisher Associates. The lot in question on which the field house will be built is Lot B, which is 49 acres, 49.07 acres. Here's a zoning map. The PUD is zoned S2. And then here is the proposed site plan, the overall site plan. What you see in red is part of Phase 1 that will be constructed, or the construction will start here either spring or summer. So as part of Phase 1, it'll be the field house, parking, 2 ponds, and an access drive with the roundabout. including a fire access lane / delivery lane around the north side. And then part of phase 2 will be, in the future, we don't know at what time yet, but will be future ball fields, more parking, and a future building that is yet to be determined. Here's a close-up of the latest site plan. So this is the north side of the lot. Like I mentioned, the field house will be constructed. This larger parking lot will have approximately 715 parking spaces. Let's see, the private entrance with the roundabout, storm infrastructure, water infrastructure. There will be a water main that will be installed around the building for fire protection. There will be one small pond that's about 1.5 acres in size, as well as all the other infrastructure needed for the building, sewer, electrical, already mentioned water, gas. And then the southern half of the building, of the lot, will contain the larger 3-acre pond. And the reason why the pond is so large is because there's a lot of fill for this site. And then there will be some grading over here for the, I guess, temporary drainage of what that future lot will be. And the first phase will disturb approximately 33 acres of the 49 acres. And at the end of phase 1, the lot coverage of the impervious lot coverage will be approximately 36%. Phase 2 is still to be determined. Here's just a rendering from the architect, just to kind of refresh everyone who's not so familiar with this project. The eastern side of the building, the front here, will be tenants. This eastern side will be 2 soccer fields, indoor soccer fields. The west side will be approximately 10, I believe it's 10 basketball courts. And then in the center here, it will be concessions and I think another tenant perhaps, and some offices. So that is all I had. We are currently working through comments that we've received from engineering and from planning and some of the other utility departments. So again, we are working on getting those resolved. And that concludes my presentation. Any questions?
Thank you for that presentation. Any questions?
Is there any plan for landscape on the north side of the field house?
Yes, so on the north side of the field house, since we are abutting the Juday Creek lateral, there is an existing buffer, landscape buffer there with trees and native plantings. We will extend that and just kind of keep existing native plantings. We don't have the landscape plan yet. That will be submitted with the next set of plans. And then to the east of the lateral, it'll mainly just be grass cover.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Murray. Any other questions? No? Thank you for the presentation. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor of Site Plan 23-02?
Chris? Not a public hearing?
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I even said that at the beginning, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
It's not a public hearing. Okay, so any questions from the commissioners on this? Any talk, any thing you wanted to mention? Hearing none, then I'll take a motion on Site Plan 23-02.
I move that we approve site plan 23-02.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second, I believe was Mike Portelis. Krista, would you please call for the vote?
Murray Wynn,
Yes.
Woody Evans,
Yes.
Chris Torti,
Yes.
Kathy Whitegadich,
Yes.
Michael Porterly.
Yes.
And site plan 23-02 passes unanimously. Murray, thank you for reminding me about no public hearing. Is there any old business?
None.
New business?
Yes, Mr. President. Two things. One, I just wanted to point out that the administrative assistant carries position, the legal title is secretary, because
Okay.
the secretary has to sign plats and other documents officially for the commission and for the board. So, and I didn't feel the need to bring that up during the process, but when you see the minutes, it will reflect that. So
Okay, no, sounds good.
I just wanted you to know that. The other item I wanted to bring up, and I know it's not a planning commission related item, but the park board and the administration, there will be a neighborhood meeting regarding the Rose Park Master Plan that will be held tomorrow night at the event center at the Ironworks, and that will be at 6:30 PM. So if you'd like to attend, you may have interest. I just wanted to put that out there. That's all I have.
Great. Any other new business? Privilege of the floor on any items that are not on the agenda. Then we are adjourned.
Even pay for me to get dressed up, change out my work clothes.
Because I came down.
Oh, I was in